Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, when I was a kid, there used to be a TV show called Divorce Court. Some of my older subscribers might remember it. It was a very dramatic show, because in those times, you could only get a divorce if you could prove either infidelity or spousal abuse. This led to very dramatic testimony from private detectives, mistresses, lovers, or in cases of abuse, doctors. But during the 1970s, the laws about divorce began to change. People were allowed to get divorced for irreconcilable differences. Ronald Reagan signed the first no-fault divorce law in the U.S. as governor of California. And conservative Christians went nuts. They're redefining marriage, they scream. It's the end of civil society, they predicted. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder, became their favorite quote. And Jesus does say in the Bible that if someone gets divorced and then remarried, he or she is committing adultery, and the person who marries him is also committing adultery. That's straight from Jesus. And throughout the 1970s, conservative Christians railed against divorce. But in 1980, they became silent. And the reason for this was that Ronald Reagan was running for president. He was divorced and remarried, and as I mentioned before, he had signed California's no divorce bill. But he was the darling of conservatives. And so conservative Christians, like magic, just stopped condemning divorce. They stopped talking about it entirely. It was no longer important what the Bible said, or even what Jesus said. Reagan was their guy, and that was more important. And so, nowadays, you don't hear conservative Christians talking about divorce anymore. And this moral flexibility continues to the present day, with conservative Christians repeatedly re-electing David Vitter. Despite his bizarre sexual proclivities, they keep voting him back into Congress. So now we have conservative Christians going crazy about gay marriage. Which, by the way, Jesus had nothing to say about it. But I wouldn't worry about conservative Christians, because their deeply held moral principles, they've never really taken them very seriously. Ask Ronald Reagan, or Vitter the shitter, or how about Jeff Duggar? Thanks for listening.